girlfriend.
Hi, everybody. I am Joy Markham, and I'm here with my partner, Cami Brecto, and we are here to share some different LifeWave technology with you. And I'm going to be doing a deep dive tonight on our three brains. So here we go. Let's see here. Okay, so we have three brains. We have our head brain, our heart brain, and our gut brain. And science is showing this to us. Our head brain, we know because that's the one that we think about all the time and we're aware of. But it's only coming about lately with science that we're understanding more and more about how our gut actually makes a lot of the feel-good chemicals in our body. And when our gut health isn't happy, then our body isn't happy and our brain is not happy. And it can be a cause of depression. It can cause multiple different things and take you out of your alignment. And then our heart actually sends more information to our brain than our brain does to our gut. To our heart, excuse me. So the head brain is called the cephalic brain, and it's what do I think? The heart brain is what do I feel? And the enteric brain or gut brain is what do I instinctively know? So let's talk about the head brain. What do I think? Our head brain helps us with the thinking, reasoning, logic, language, perception. It has our central nervous system attached to it. And it produces the chemicals dopamine, serotonin, and acetylcholine, along with some others. What do I feel? Our heart brain helps us with emotional processing, intuition, connection, empathy. There are over 40,000 neurons and a huge nervous system that operate independently of the head brain and send 90% of the information to the head as opposed to the 10% coming to the heart, which I thought was amazing when I learned, because I had no idea how much our heart influences our whole body and our state of being. So what do I instinctively know? When you have that gut feeling, that is a real thing. We have little cilia in our gut, and we're taking in all kinds of data all the time. And that cilia talks to us if we listen to it. And it tells us different things when things are right for us, when they go with our internal compass, when they don't go within our internal compass. And so it's really super important to listen to our gut. It's really super important to listen to our heart. And it's really super important to have all three in alignment. So our gut actually produces over 90% of our body's serotonin, which is the feel-good hormone that we need in order to actually be happy and not be depressed. So it heavily influences our state of being, our emotional state. It also highly influences, like what we put into our body, what we put into our gut, and the way our gut health is really influences our mind. It influences our heart, and it influences our whole way of being. So how do they all communicate together? They're connected by the vagus nerve, which is your body's superhighway. There's always two-way communication between them. They start, the motions that we have start in the body and the heart, and then the brain interprets them afterwards and talks to us about it. When we have coherence, or our base resonant frequency is in alignment, then all three brains are in sync. And when all three brains are in sync, then we feel right about the decisions that we make. But sometimes we can be discombobulated where we're wanting to make a decision and we can't quite make it and we don't really know why. And part of that is because we're not in alignment. We're not we're not in alignment with whatever decision it is that we're wanting to make, and we haven't figured out how to get our body into alignment. So part of how we know that our body is in alignment is by our heart rate variability. When our heart rate variability is smooth and it's just continuing at a good rate. I know Cami did a heart rate variability deep dive not very long ago, and she talked about the importance of heart rate variability. When we are able to get our head brain, our heart brain, and our gut brain in alignment according to our internal compass, then we're able to actually be in a calm, clear, and a peaceful state. This is where we want to be as much as possible. So what is our base resonant frequency? Our base resonant frequency is when we have the head brain, the heart brain, and our gut brain all in flow, in alignment, and they're all together. We're listening to all three of them, taking care of all three of them, and actually able to actually put it all together so that it just flows. So each of us have our own frequency. We have, it's kind of like a signature, like a fingerprint. And it's kind of reminds me of like a tune on a piano or tuning your instrument. And so when our three brains are are aligned, we're in tune, then we're able to actually be clear in our thinking. We're able to know what we need to do and how we need to do it. And when we're not, it's difficult to actually be able to figure out decisions and make choices. And sometimes I know there will be a choice and I used to talk myself into it. Like I would feel like a clenching in my gut and I would be like, but logically this makes sense. And so, I would have my brain talk myself into it, but then my gut didn't agree. And then later on, I would find out that, it wasn't in alignment with myself and it wasn't something that was a good thing. And my gut actually was telling me, and I had to learn how to listen. So the head brain has a frequency, the heart brain has a vibration, and the gut brain has energy. And together, all three of those together equals our base resonant frequency. So what do each of these do? Well, our intuition for safety and protection, we have that intuition. A lot of times our culture has squashed that a little bit where we are, taught to use our head brain more than we are our gut brain. And I think that we're changing that around a little bit more as more science comes out to support our understanding of the gut and all of its uses, including its intuition and how that affects our lives, and also how it can actually tell us multiple different things. And our heart brain helps us to dream. It helps us to have visions. It helps with our spirituality. It helps with connection to other people. And our head brain helps us with the different logical and planning parts of things. I found this little comic when I was doing a search, and it was like the gut brain is talking to the heart brain, or the head brain, and it's like, I don't like it, brain. I don't like it one bit. And the head brain is like, I trust you, gut. Just tell me why so I can try to fix it. And the gut's like, I don't know. And then the gut's like, the head brain's like, okay, then. Like he's kind of upset. And the gut's like, not one bit. Like, I don't like it one bit. I don't know why, but I just don't. And that sometimes is how we are in life, where we don't know why it's not in alignment, but it just doesn't feel right. So a lot of times our actions are actually not our own. We actually carry 14 generations of trauma in our bodies. And that trauma actually gives us subconscious patterns of behavior. Our subconscious patterns of behavior actually take up around 95% of the actions that we do in our day-to-day lives, in our body. Our body functions, does all kinds of things like pump your heart and, tell your lungs how to breathe and digest food and all kinds of things. All of those go into that 95%. But a lot of our actions that when we react to different things are actually not our own. And I'm going to actually talk more about that next week as far as what we can do. When we have a subconscious pattern of behavior, we can do 3 different steps. One, we can be aware that we have that subconscious pattern of behavior. 2, we can decide, do we want to change it or not? And then 3, we can decide what we want to change it to, and then consciously change it when we have that pause, when we start to have that behavior. So, how do patches tie into our base resonant frequency and our 3 brains? Well, patches help stabilize our emotions and brain with hormone balancing. They help lower inflammation in our body. They help our body get back in a regenerative state instead of being in a survival, fight, flight state. So they allow us to be more intuitive. They allow us to listen more to our gut, to our heart, and to our brain so that we're able to actually get more in alignment with all 3. So this is just a cool graphic about the gut-brain connection. I wanted to talk a little bit about the gut regeneration system. It is actually what I've started talking to people about doing after they do the X39 and the Aeon when they just first start out using patches. We don't want people to detox too fast, so that's why we only ask that they use those 2 patches to begin with, because all of the patches can help detox the body and you can get Herxheimer's if you do it too fast. But I am a firm believer in after your body has gotten used to the patches and started detoxing, doing this gut regeneration system, because I believe that the gut actually, when you're able to lower the inflammation in it, when you're able to detoxify it, when you're able to actually do the repair work that you need to and fix your hormone regulation and lower your addictions and cravings and change your diet somewhat because of it, and potentially even lose some weight. I know the first time that I did the challenge, I lost 7 pounds and 17 inches, and I'd just done it to do a detox. And that was just 18 days of doing this system. The reason I recommend it is because when you are creating cells in your body, which these patches do, they help your body with cell creation. You actually need the building blocks for cell creation in your body. And some of the building blocks of cell creation are water, and then also vitamins and minerals. And when your gut actually gets cleaned out and starts functioning better, it's able to actually utilize the nutrients that you're putting into your body and absorb them. Those little cilia that actually help with your intuition, they actually also help. They're there to actually absorb different vitamins and nutrients. So this is Tracy's bonus daughter, and she had an amazing result when she did the gut regeneration system. This totally changed her body's biochemistry and put her body back into its base resonant frequency and more in alignment with herself. She was able to get rid of her insomnia and her anxiety. She lost 35 pounds in 18 days, and it completely transformed her life. SP6 is one of the patches that are utilized in the gut regeneration. It helps with cravings, it helps balance hormones, it helps with liver function and kidney function, helps with your thyroid, and adrenals, and overall. I just wanted to touch again on the heart study that they did that reversed age by 8 weeks for 6 weeks of use, because that is another one of our brains. And so these patches help our heart brain, they help our gut brain, and they help our head brain. The brain mapping study shows that they lower the inflammation, they help cognition, they help with memory and focus, and just overall function of the brain. Aeon, this is this a brain, excuse me, this is a thermography where you can see the inflammation, high inflammation in the top pictures. That's the back and the stomach. And then after a few minutes, 5 minutes of wearing an Aeon patch, how much lower the heat signature is in the body and with the lowered inflammation. Glutathione has been linked to all of these different diseases, and it is a master antioxidant and detoxer. It is another one of the patches used in the gut regeneration system. And that is what I have for today. So I hope that you enjoyed that talk on our 3 brains and how they work together for us. And I also am doing I can put the link in the chat, and we are open for questions.
Awesome.
So
Thank
let
you,
me stop
Joy.
sharing and then also stop recording.